And welcome back. Time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you the pictures of the chaos in Bangladesh. And as I show you these pictures of the chaos in Bangladesh on a day when Sheikh Hasina, the democratically elected Prime Minister of Bangladesh, has been removed by the American deep state forces, let me tell you, viewers, that when Rahul Gandhi goes to London and says the Americans must save Indian democracy, Western powers must intervene in Indian democracy, this is the intervention that he's probably talking about. Because when the Western countries intervene in any country's democracy, this is what happens. Now my question to Rahul Gandhi is, do you want this in India? Today, viewers, 3 points that we must make tonight. Firstly, do not think that what has happened in Bangladesh is specific to Bangladesh. This is what happens when the American deep state intervenes in any country. Right? And when people within the country's so-called democratic system who do not believe in the election process or who lose the election process go crying to America asking for help, like the BNP and the Jamaat-e-Islami have gone crying to America saying, we can't defeat Sheikh Hasina, help us. America intervenes and this is what happens. Our country goes to the ruin. So 3 clear points that I want to make to all the viewers of Republic tonight. Viewers, there are some political parties, some political forces who want chaos and anarchy in India. Tonight, look at the pictures from Bangladesh and remember, this is what chaos and anarchy looks like. This is what happens when people who cannot get elected want to use chaos, anarchy, violence, the army, any means to come to power. This is what happens. And ask yourself, do you want the Americans to do this in our country? Do you want the Chinese to do this in our country? Is it not important that political parties like the Congress declare what their arrangement with the Chinese Communist Party is? This is why, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing we need in India is nationalism, a sense of nation first. Sheikh Hasina was a nationalist leader. Today, Bangladesh has lost a leader who could stand up to China, who could stand up to America, who said nation first on her own terms. The Americans didn't like it, the Chinese didn't like it. This is what they have done, and this is what is happening on the streets of Dhaka. Ladies and gentlemen, my second point tonight is this. America says, please allow the peaceful protests. I know Joe Biden is not in his elements, but has the CIA gone mad? Is this a peaceful protest? People are being hacked across Bangladesh. Islamist forces are out. Leaders of communist parties are being murdered, killed. Is this a peaceful protest? Is this a student protest? It's not a student protest. It is a radical Islamist protest. People in India who say that the Modi government does not respect institutions should remember that this is what America does when you allow them to come into our country. Do these protesters, so-called protesters who I consider hoodlums, Islamists, ladies and gentlemen, do they respect institutions? Did those who were behind Shaheen Bagh, when they blocked the roads, when they blocked the ambulances, when they threatened to burn the country, when what they did led to the stoning and the killing of 56 people in Jahangirpuri in Delhi ahead of Trump's visit, did they respect institutions? Did they respect the Supreme Court when it told them to pull back? Did they ever listen to the Supreme Court? No, they didn't. Did those Khalistanis respect? Did those Khalistanis who tried to pull down the tricolour in the Red Fort in the name of a fake farmers' protest, did they respect institutions? No, they didn't. Did the people who Rahul Gandhi and Sitaram Yechuri support, who say, Bharat tere tukde honge, inshallah, inshallah, do they respect institutions? No, they don't. Do we want forces like that to take over our country? And if we believe that they never will, then remember there is a political party in Bangladesh called the BNP which cannot legitimately win an election. And there are forces like the Jamaat-e-Islami in Bangladesh who want to change the very character of Bangladeshi democracy. When they come together with foreign forces, this is the cocktail which emerges. So remember, every single time when you hear a debate on Republic saying, nation first, don't believe these politicians who go crying on foreign capitals to abuse our country. To allow all those foreigners to come in. Don't allow the Mir Jafarization of Indian politics. Remember my words today, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the situation in Bangladesh and never believe, I want to go back to the pictures, never believe that what has happened in Bangladesh today will not happen in India. We are a diverse country. It is unfortunate that in our country, people like Rahul Gandhi say India is not a nation. It is some kind of a negotiation. I believe in federalism too, but not at the risk of compromising Indian nationalism. We are a country with diverse languages, many religions. We are not an Islamic republic. We are not a country with one language. Hence, the complexity of our situation is much more than the complexity in Bangladesh. We should be extremely careful. The last point I want to make tonight, just look at the coincidences first. Look at the coincidences. Who has taken over power in Bangladesh today? Those who lost the election. Think, viewers, of the conspiracy that was going on in our country to question the electronic voting machines, the EVMs, supported by Western powers. Why was it being done? So that Americans could come and say that, the Indian elections are not fair. That is what they did when Sheikh Hasina won the elections for a fifth time. They said her victory is not fair. And I want to tell the Americans, who the hell are you to question elections in our part of the world, whether in India or in Bangladesh? Do we question what's happening in your country? Do we question that process? Should we question that process? And when you call these people peaceful protesters, should I remind the Americans how they handled what happened on Capitol Hill? Should we remind Trudeau of how brutally he broke the truckers' protest in Canada? Should we give the most recent example of Keir Starmer in the United Kingdom, who is issuing warnings against right-wing so-called protesters on the streets of Leeds and Brighton, all across the United Kingdom? When it comes to their own situations, law and order situations, they deal very sternly. When it comes to us, they say, be soft, be nice, engage with them. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I repeat the 3 points. First point, those who want Western powers to enter India, they should learn a lesson from what has happened today. Or if not, if you are supporting those political parties who want Western powers to come into India, look at these pictures and ask yourself if you're doing the right thing. Secondly, these groups do not support institutions. Third, they are for sale. And fourth, ladies and gentlemen, they don't believe in elections. Now let's introspect and think about how this could have been applied into an Indian context.